Hello, welcome back everyone. Thank you for joining me again. I'm still new here. One video up and second one here. So if you're watching me because you saw my last video, thank you for coming back. If you're here for the very first time, thank you for coming and please feel free to subscribe. Right, today I'm going to be sharing with you my 7 top Jo Malone fragrances. This is my favorite. I have about 10 Jo Malones, but these are my favorites, the ones that I love and enjoy wearing. 7 of them. And I'm just gonna do them in no particular order, but I will tell you which one if I was pushed to pick my favorite of the bunch, I would pick that one. I'll be telling you that later on. My first one, first of all, they have these ones in these bottles, okay? They have these ones in the clear bottles, and then they have the dark ones behind there, and those are the colognes. And they're much deeper, much more concentrated. So we're going to be starting with these ones in the clear bottles. The first one I have here, this one is a top for a lot of people. I think this one is a national favorite. And this is English Pear and Freesia. And English Pear and Freesia has top notes of pear, it has melons, it has freesias and rose, it has musk, it has patchouli, it has rhubarb, and it has amber. And this one, like I said, is a favorite of a lot of people. First impressions of these ones, it reminds me of a beautiful garden where you have all these, a beautiful orchard, where you have these pears growing there, then you have melons, and then you have roses growing, and the whiff of roses, the wind is blowing the rose smell from another place into this garden, and you're just walking, and the whole place is infused with this smell of fruits and flowers, and this one is very crisp, very fresh, very light, it's a fresh scent. And it's a very friendly one. I don't think there's anybody that would be offended by this one unless you were allergic to some of the things in here. So I love this one. I'll reach for this one for every day when I want to dash out to a place and I want to smell nice and fresh and clean. This is the one I go to. But also, I don't want to make it sound very simplistic. This is very, very elegant. It's very elegant, very, very feminine. But I'm sure there's some men who like to smell like this. I know a lot of men don't like floral fragrances, but this is a very, very, it's fine and it's elegant, and I feel like this is very English here. Okay, so English Pear and Freesia. Longevity, not too bad. On me, maybe 5 to 6 hours. And if I wear this and mix it with maybe a cream or an oil or something else, it will last longer. So yeah, a national favorite, this one, English Pear and Freesia. Second one here, we've got this one, and this is Orange Blossom. Orange Blossom is another very zingy, very fresh, very floral and citrusy. This is a citrusy one. And I have heard it said that this one is a favorite of the Princess of Wales, the current Princess of Wales, Kate Middleton. They say that she wore this on her wedding. I'm not very sure about that. But I know that there's a lot of people who love this one. I've had this for a long time. This is my second bottle, and I love this one very much. And this one has got tangerine blossom. It's got orange blossom. It's got lilac water lily. It's got Irish. It's got vetiver, and I love vetiver. This one, like I said, it's light, it's bright, it's zingy, it's zesty. It reminds me of walking into an orange grove somewhere in the Mediterranean. I love to wear this one in the spring. And it's one of my all-time favorites by Jo Malone. So that was Orange Blossom, okay? This one, I think, is unisex, okay? It's citrusy, so, citruses, they appeal to both genders. And finally, in the clear bottles, Okay, third one, not in any particular order, like I said. This is, peony and blush suede. Now, peony and blush suede is a favorite of a lot of people for weddings. It's a favorite with brides. A lot of people like to wear this one on their wedding. And this one has red apple, it has peony, it has rose, it has carnation, it has jasmine, it has a leather note in there, suede. Okay, there's a leather note. I personally don't pick up that leather note, but I can pick up the carnations. I remember carnation very well from a long time ago. They used to use a lot of carnations in funerals. So every time I smell carnations, they kind of remind me of funeral wreaths. But I don't mind it. I don't mind that at all. But then, yeah, so we've got those red juicy apples here mixed with the peonies. Again, we're back in the orchard. We've got apples and we've got the smell of peonies all mixed together. This is a very soft scent. It's floral, it's musky, it's perfect for daytime. You don't have to only wear this as a bride. This is a beautiful one, very, very soft, very velvety, very elegant. And I think the velvetiness comes from that leather, the suede. So this one is a very good one. You can wear this to work. You can wear this on, going out and hanging out with the girls or for tea. It's a beautiful one, very, very soft, non-offensive, very, very beautiful. A favorite, like I said, with brides, but you don't have to be a bride to enjoy this one. Again, this one leans a bit more feminine, but, there are people who like to wear, men who like to wear feminine scents, and there are women who like to wear masculine scents, like myself. I don't mind wearing very masculine scents. Perfume and fragrance is all perfume and fragrance, really, in my book. So yeah, so that was peony and blush suede, and I have to say that the longevity on that one, that lasts quite a bit on me, so that's quite good with the longevity. Yeah, you can also mix the two of them. You can mix this one. I think you can mix it with the freesia, and you can mix the freesia with the orange blossom. You can mix them up. Jo Malone is all about mixing and matching. So finally, we are going on to the Cologne line, which is in the darker bottles. They used to have them in these black bottles, but I feel like they're changing. Okay, they used to be like this, but I feel like they're beginning to change into different colors. I haven't been to Jo Malone lately, so I need to go and see what's all the different colors that they are doing this in. And finally, this beautiful one in this red bottle. This one is Poppy Scarlet. This is Poppy Scarlet, and I have to tell you that Poppy Scarlet, oh my God, this one has got vanilla and amber and orris and fig, and it's got poppy. It's got heliotrope, it's got barley, and it's got tonka bean. Some of this sweetness, because this is a very gourmand scent, some of that sweetness, I think, is coming from the tonka bean. I suspect that most of that sweetness is coming from the tonka bean. This is very musky, it's creamy, it's buttery, it's velvety, it's warm. It's the kind of perfume that you want to wear and cuddle up. Like you're sitting somewhere and you want to smell nice and lush and, oh man, this one is just so lush, so lush. You know what else it reminds me of? It reminds me of walking into a confectioner's or places where they're making things like macaroons and cookies. Yeah, this is like a walk into your favorite confectioner's, guys. It's like something you want to eat. You shouldn't, but yeah, it makes you feel like that. I think I would wear this if I was going to an evening somewhere, or maybe an afternoon somewhere where we're gonna have tea and cookies, or I just want just the lushness and the beautifulness and the deliciousness. This I describe as delicious. This is a properly done, very well blended but toned, very well balanced. The sweetness here is very well balanced. Okay, and this one is very reminiscent of Dior's Hypnotic Poison, which I have. Now, Hypnotic Poison is a beast. It's very, very sweet, very, very vanilla, the coconuts, the almonds, everything is in there. And if you find that a little bit too much, this is what you can, if you like that kind of thing, but you find hypnotic poison a little bit too much, go for Scarlet Poppy. This one is like a pared down, like a toned down. I don't want to say watered down because this is still very rich and well blended, but it's like a toned down. It's like hypnotic poison down a bit that is nice and wearable and safe and yummy and delicious and warm and fluffy. So yes, that's that. And by the way, this is very unisex. And the mask in there obviously makes it very, very good for men. All right? Yeah, very, very good for men. But also, like I said, it's unisex. Very, very unisex. But for me, I think that if you're a man, you're going to love this one. Right. Next, we move on to Dark Amber and Ginger Lily. This one, whew. Gosh, this one opens with that ginger. It's got pink pepper, it's got ginger, and so that kind of gives it a very, very spicy opening. You can literally smell the ginger. Even for people who don't know how to pick up perfume notes, you can pick up the ginger in this one. It also has cardamom. It has cardamom, it has water lily, and it has orchids, and it has jasmine, and it has rose, it has patchouli, it has sandalwood, it has leather, and it has black amber, and finally, it has incense. This has everything that I love. Everything in this perfume I love. I love ginger and I love the pink peppers, but as that wears off, this becomes very dark. It develops into a very, very dark, almost heavy but not too heavy blend, and then the flowers begin to come through. And then at the dry down, I can smell the incense in this one, and I can smell the sandalwood. I cannot really pick up, maybe not the patchouli so much, yeah, but the amber is right there. Now this one is very earthy, very, very earthy, very well done. This is one that should be worn strictly when it's very cold, on like a dark evening, and you're going out and you have company of people who love life, and they love to smell good, and this is nice. This is the kind of perfume you wear and everybody's asking, what are you wearing? It's very dark, almost very hard to decipher. I spent a bit of time with this perfume when I got it, trying to figure out, I was trying to understand the notes in here, because for me they were a bit complex. But as I've worn it and I've smelt it so many times, I've come to be able to pick out the notes one by one. We have this one. This is cypress and grapevine. Cypress and grapevine. Now, cypress and grapevine does not have a lot of ingredients, a lot of notes in it. This one is made of cypress, I think, and cedar wood, and then it's made with vine. And I think it's vine from the grapes. Hence the name cypress and grapevine. So very, very linear, but very, very coniferous. Oh. Now, let me tell you the story behind this one, why I got this one. This perfume reminds me of my childhood. When I was young, from the age of around 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, from 6 to 10, I lived with my grandmother, who used to live in the countryside, and we were surrounded by forests and woods. In fact, we had a wood behind our house. So there were trees everywhere, and most of those trees were cypress. We had cedar, we had pine, we had eucalyptus. There was all sorts of trees. I used to go and play out with my friends and my cousins in the woods. We would go and fetch firewood, but we would also go and play there. And we used to swing from branch to branch, And at the end of the day, coming home, our hands would be covered in the smell of cypress, or the smell of pine, or the smell of cedar. We would come home wrapped up in a coniferous haze, and then would come home to more smoky cypress that we used to use for cooking, with burnt cypress and cedar and pine. So there was always this coniferous haze around me. This was like a permanent smell that I have come to love and to find comfort. This takes me back to a happy place. Reminds me of my carefree days of my childhood. And I find it comforting. It reminds me of people who are no longer here. And even though this one leans slightly masculine because of all the words in here, I love it. And I love to wear this one. My son loves this one as well. But so we kind of share, but I love this one just for the nostalgic value. All right. So like I said, this is a much more masculine. Yeah. So cedar wood, vines, and more woods and cypress. That's that. And finally, we have this lady here. And this is velvet rose and oud. Velvet rose and oud. And this one has damask rose, it has alga wood, it has cloves. Very, very spicy, but I love the blending of the rose and the oud. All right. I have other rose and oud fragrances, but this one is actually a favorite of mine just because it's a bit more feminine and a bit more lush. Very, very lush, very feminine, but I also find it very, very elegant. Sometimes some of those oud perfumes, if oud is not done right with rose, it can become a bit funny. I find that this is very well blended. A very rich blend of velvety rose and smoky oud. I said that if I was to get married today, if I was getting married today, I would wear peony and blush suede to church. This is what I would wear for the afternoon reception. I would really wear this. I love it. Beautiful. I love this. I feel personally that this is rose and oud done very well, and it's a very nice blend. All right. Like I said, if I was hard pressed to pick my favorite Jo Malone for now, it would be this one. I have got my eyes on something else by Jo Malone, which I do not have in my collection, and I'm going to be getting that, and I will see how that compares to this one. Okay. Yeah, all right. So let me know if you love Jo Malone London fragrances. Let me know if you have any of these. Let me know what you think. Down there, please remember to subscribe, to like, and leave me a comment. And God bless you. Bye.